Hello friends and welcome back to our homestead. Today I'm in the kitchen, not because I am cooking, but because I am going to be cooking up something for my garden. Exactly, for my garden. So how many of you already thinking about what you're going to be growing in your gardens? You already drawing the scheme of the garden plan and you're reviewing your seeds and your inventory. This is a very exciting time of the year. And that's exactly what I did, and I posted a video not too long ago when we did a seed exchange with my friends, and it was so much fun. And then I also went through the inventory of my greenhouse of things that I have just to be better prepared for the sowing season. And how many of you sowing carrots and sowing beets or add other things into the ground, you have to bend down so low to the ground. It hurts your neck, hurts your back, hurts your knees and everything else. And then only to have to go back again and thin it out because the plants are too close to each other. And the danger of actually thinning carrots, what happens is as we pull them out of the ground, that fresh aroma of pulled out seedlings of carrots invite carrot flies to actually come and destroy your carrots in the future, which is a really bad thing. So I do know that every year when I sow carrots into the ground, I try to space them out, or I try to do them too thick and then I thin them out, and it's just so much work and painful. So this year I am trying to avoid that discomfort by cooking something up now in the comfort of my home. I can do this in my kitchen. I can do this in my family room. I can turn on my favorite movie, set up a table in the front of me, and as I'm watching a movie, do this little trick. So let me share you my trick. I invited my sister to come and help me out today with my little project. But let me tell you, it's so much fun, and you need very basic things. Well, obviously, we're gonna need the seeds. And let me show you how I store my seeds and the things that we're gonna need for today's project. Recently, I obtained a really cool little gadget. It's a plastic box with little containers that I have labeled, and everything is nicely organized. All of my seeds are in here. Well, not all of them. Not all of them fit in here, but most of them are here. And I organize them by name, so it's easy for me to see what I have and that sort of thing. So today I'm going to be working on three things, mainly on carrots, radishes, and beets. So let me take out those three little containers because that's what I'm going to be working on. And the few other things that I need, I'm going to need, my friends, fun things. I'm going to need toilet paper. Single layer, is that what it's called? Single layer, single plane. Toilet paper right here, that's what I need. Super cheap, dollar store discovery. I'm gonna need a little bit of water, and I have a little bit of clean water. I'm gonna need plain flour. Okay, I'm gonna need a spoon to measure things up. I'm gonna need some sort of a syringe, and I have this gigantic old syringe that we're going to be using, but if you don't have a syringe, you can do it with a teaspoon, but that's a little bit more difficult. A measurement tape, or you can eyeball things. I'm going to need scissors. And obviously I'm going to need a little container where I'm going to be mixing these ingredients. And what else? I'm going to be using, these are little toothpicks or appetizer sticks, whatever you want to call them, or toothpicks will work as well. So this is what I need. If you guys grew up in the time when you had to make your own glue, that's exactly what we're going to be doing right now. I'm going to be taking, let me push this aside. I'm going to be making glue using flour and water. The consistency, all it is just plain flour. I'm not going to take too much because I don't need to. Plain flour and a little bit of water. I'm not going to put too much water because I want to mix and look at the consistency. The consistency has to be like for thin pancakes, almost like something between pancakes and crepes. That's a consistency, and I'm going to mix it together. This is basically the old-fashioned glue, my friends. Oh.
old-fashioned glue. So I'm just gonna mix it together, so make sure I don't have any lumps, clumps. It has to be nice and thin kind of glue. I'm gonna make sure that everything is nicely mixed in. Why I want it to be without little clumps, because we're gonna be using this on the toilet paper to create the glue where the seeds will go. So if you have purchased seeds before, let me add a little bit more. If you have purchased seeds on the roll before, on the paper roll, you know what I'm talking about. It's pretty expensive to buy. For one package, sometimes you pay $9, $10, and you can create this at home. In the middle of the winter, when you have nothing else going on, the garden is sleeping, covered with snow, and you're sitting there at home watching TV, you can do this at home. So let me mix it all in, and this is pretty much the consistency I want. Let me mix it all in. To turn this into glue, we need to cook it briefly, very briefly. So I'm just gonna put this in a pot. You can cook this in a microwave, but we do not use microwave in our house. So this is gonna go on the fire. Not for too long. I literally wanted to kind of warm it up, because in order for this to turn into glue, it needs to cook just a little bit. Now, I've seen people do this without cooking this and keeping the flour and water mixture raw, but I'm gonna cook it just a little bit, not too much at all. So just a couple of minutes until it thickens up a little bit and warms up, and it's going to turn into glue. Not much at all. I don't want to make too much of a batch and throw it away, so I think this is good enough for me. It's thickening up, so I'm just going to add a little bit more water, because even though it's not cooking yet, but because of the heat, it's thickening up. So just, making a mess. I just thickened it up. Thinned it up, that's what I meant to say. Thinned it up with a little bit of water. So there were some clumps in here, so I've decided to put it through a sieve just to get all those clumps out. But do you see the consistency? It's thin, but yet it's kind of like glue, really. But I want to make sure that I don't have any clumps, because of the clumps, I will not be able to put it in a syringe. Of course, maybe if you have a very thick syringe, it would have worked, but my syringe has a small tip. Yeah, I see the clumps. That's why I need to get rid of them. So I'm just gonna work through really quick. This is gonna take a minute. So sometimes this glue does not have to be cooked at all. You just mix, hot water with flour, or even cold water with flour. But I've decided to cook it. So, all right, almost done. Okay, so this is nice and smooth without any lumps. I'm just gonna put it aside for now, and I'm gonna work on the toilet paper. So this is single ply toilet paper, but if you have double ply, it's actually better. So we need to measure out the length of it. It should be the width of your garden bed. So if it's 4 feet wide, guess what? This should be 4 feet, okay? I'm not really measuring, because my garden beds are not very standard, and I have single ply toilet paper, so I need to fold this in half to make it a double ply, okay? Something like this. So this piece now should be about 2 inches wide. See that? 2 inches wide. Perfect, just like that. All right, so I'm gonna push this to the side, and I've got a syringe. It's better if it has a wider tip, but I don't have a wider tip, so I'm just gonna put it in a syringe just like this. And this is the fun part now. So I'm gonna come over to my strip of toilet paper, and I'm gonna put little tiny beads like pearls 2 inches apart. I'm not gonna squeeze too much, because that's all. And like in a pattern, like checkerboard, opposite of each other like that. 2 inches apart. I'm gonna put little beads. So this glue that we made out of flour and water will dry It will dry, so it's not gonna go bad. And it will be perfect in time for the sowing season. And for us, for early harvest, I need to sow my carrots sometime late March, early April. All right. So this glue will act as a little fertilizer as well, or starting point for the seeds. It's going to give them little glucose as well and help them to germinate and grow. So just like this. So let me go all the way through to the end of my tape. Okay, just think about this. You guys can do this literally at home in your living room while watching your favorite show, or turn on a YouTube and watch Luli's Homestead. How fun is that? All right, I'm almost done with these beads here. Plump, plump, plump. Oops, wrong place. It's okay. Last one. All right, that's done. Now, so now we need to find the seeds we want. So I have a bunch of different seeds here, and carrots are finicky things. So let me put them, let me grab a little plate. I want to put them on a little plate. It will be easier for me to work with. Okay, tiny seeds. They are absolutely tiny. Look how little they are. Aren't they ridiculously small? So I will take my little tiny Q-tip here. Well, not Q-tip, it's a little tooth. I just got it wet a little bit so it sticks better. And I'm gonna grab one seed and I'm gonna plump them right there. Grab one seed right there. Do you see how easy that is? Isn't that fun? And I'm gonna allow this to dry. If 2 dropped in there, it's okay. You might have germination of 2, or at least you're hoping that it will be germinating at least 1. So because this little wooden skewer is moist, it grabs very easily. All right, and we leave them right there in our little glue. Isn't this fun? You can do this with kids if they want to help you, or you call your sister to help you. So Miss Raisa, can you grab one please and start helping me? This will be fun. All right, just like that. Get it? Yep, perfect. Thank you. So we can sit here and talk about stories of our childhood and everything else that goes along with gardening. All right, I'll see you guys in a minute. So after we're done with all of this, it's important that this glue actually dries. So we can leave them sitting on a table just like this, or you can hang it over the back of the kitchen chair, like a chair, like in your dining room, just as long as nobody sits on that chair, and allow it to completely to dry. It may take a few hours because some of these little beads are small and the other beads came out a little too big for my liking, but it's okay. Do you see how fast we're doing this? And it's gonna save my back when it's actual time to plant them, to sow them, I should say, into the soil. All right, the first one is done. So now, like I said, I can go ahead and put it right against the back of the chair and let them dry, or I can just push them aside and let them dry on my table, just like this. At the end, when everything is dry, I will roll them up. I will roll them up or fold them and put them in a dry envelope or something like that. And when it's ready to sow, I'll put them in the ground, sprinkle a little soil on top, about a half an inch or so on top, and my carrots are ready for growing. I forgot to mention that it's very important that we also label them. So on the corner, I will label them just like this, and I will remember what's in here. So these strips already drying up nicely, and we're working on the next strips here. And we're just gonna, this is the whole tape. It's gonna go into the ground just like this. Nothing needs to be peeled off. It's just like the seed tape, same identical way. It's a very
easy way to prep your sowing beds with seeds and protect your backs. So friends, I hope you are encouraged to try my experiment as well. Because I'm telling you, your back will thank you. Your knees will thank you. This is a simple project to do in the middle of the winter. And then for sowing time, you are ready to go. So friends, I hope you are encouraged to grow from scratch, from seed this season. Feed your family natural, God-given foods. And so basically, try something new.